Good Saturday. It's December 11th, and we have a lot to talk about. Major storm system coming in. That arrives around midnight as we move into Sunday morning, early morning hours, about 1 a.m., 2 a.m. We'll start to see more of the rain and even those heavy snowfall totals starting to pick up. Let's talk about what we can expect for your Saturday. This will be one of the more important days because you want to be able to prepare for the heavy rain and downpours that are going to come in Sunday, Monday, lingering into Tuesday, a slight break, and then another system arrives Wednesday into Thursday. So today really is the day to prepare, whether it's sandbags and flooding in your neighborhood, to clearing out some of the gutters, to also clearing out those leaves on your street, anything that could clog up those storm drains you want to do. Here's one other thing I would recommend doing today, if you can, is make sure all of those blow up Christmas things you have outside or any loose Christmas decorations out there in the lawn, you want to secure them or even bring them in for at least a couple days. This next system is going to be pretty big, not just with the rain and the snow, but the strong wind. So we'll get to all of it as we do prepare for this next couple of days into next week. Now, it's also going to bring about major travel delays, and I mean major closures of highways. We do expect that to happen, especially throughout your Sunday afternoon and into Monday, as we'll get another session of pretty much scattered showers, but they're going to be intense. So we do expect the wind blowing to make visibility so limited. We do expect to see those highways closed. I'm talking 80 up and over Donner Pass. I do expect that to close down, as well as portions of 50 up in the mountains. Now, we will also see a risk for power outages, not just because the winds are going to be so strong, but even the weight of some of that snow may have an impact. All right, so here's what it is. A pretty big low pressure system, but it's a combination of things that are all adding up. I know we had a combination of pretty big events that came in October. That historic atmospheric river we continue to talk about brought in a lot of rainfall, almost an entire water year's worth of rain in one storm system, which is astronomical. We are all thinking, wow, this is a 1 in 500-year event. Now we're getting something sort of similar, except things are changing. We're getting some very cold air that's coming in from the north that we did not get in October. That cold air is going to add up into our snow totals. Now, we got pretty good snow for the highest elevations in October. Now we're looking at the snow level dropping down to about 3,500 feet, maybe even a slightly bit lower in certain spots along 50 and 80. Now, this cold circulation that's already happening, we have a second system arriving there. You can see it in the Gulf of Alaska rotating. It's helping to draw in that cold air into this huge elongated trough here over the Pacific. Now, we have the low pressure system. Its associated cold front that's pulling in the rain, the snow, all of that system and moisture. But now we add one more element, and that is the atmospheric river. We are tapping into an atmospheric river way over there, kind of just north of the Hawaiian Islands. We're tapping into that moisture, and it's being drawn into that cold front. Now, that major trough we're seeing, that big U that you see over the Pacific, that's allowing all that cold air to move in, and all three combined to bring us higher precipitation totals, but also cold air is helping to bring in higher snow totals as well, turning that rain to snow as soon as it hits certain elevations. And the lower those elevations hit, we know the intense coldness of the system that's being pulled in is causing those lower elevations to form that snowfall around 3,000 feet. Pacific Northwest getting it first. Washington into Oregon and portions of the northwest corner of California getting that rain into your Saturday. Now, it's going to take a little bit of time for that system to make its way across Northern California into Sacramento's area. That's going to be late tonight. I'm saying about 10 p.m. or so for some areas further north of Sacramento and hitting the mountains, areas of Lassen, even already starting to get maybe a sprinkle here and there. But it's going to be treacherous if you are planning to head up I-5 into areas of Oregon, maybe Siskiyou Mountain passes, Dunsmuir, a lot of snow on the way for I-5 areas. Let's talk the atmospheric river because we're tapping into this moisture out here. You can see it kind of highlighted in this neon shade of blue. This is some good amount of moisture, a lot of heat over the Pacific. Areas around the Hawaiian Islands usually contribute to that Pineapple Express. Now, when we can tap into that with that cold front, it drags and pulls it into the system, the rotating system. It kind of just is able to pull it all in, all moves together in one motion, and then kind of moves its way across, dragging through in the next 24 to 48 hours. This is the first one. We're getting it Sunday into Monday, but here's the thing. That's actually kind of stalling out a little bit. You notice as we move into Monday, that nice fine line that would move its way down south is actually kind of spread out more. It looks like a little blob around areas here. This is what's going to hold on to some of that moisture a little longer. I'm talking an extra maybe 12 hours or so, or we'll actually get a pull and grab from that moisture to add to our rain totals and our snow totals. As soon as that one passes, we have a weaker one that approaches us Wednesday into Thursday, passes on through. Then the rest of the atmospheric rivers at this point look like they're going to be targeting the Pacific Northwest. So we have one solid good one that'll be coming in the next 24 to 48 hours. The second one's a bit weaker, but we'll still expect it Wednesday to Thursday. Let's talk rain. It is a lot of rain. I mean, get ready and brace yourselves because the green is dark green is usually pretty good, significant amount of rain. As soon as we start getting into the yellows, the oranges, and even sometimes the reds, that's where we get intense downpours, and they're just ready to come. You can see it there, Santa Rosa, Clear Lake, Ukiah, as we get into 4 a.m. Even some heavy rain in that dark green shades just enough over Sacramento. You can see the snow starting to form. The layer of snow and the level of snow is starting to make its way down as we start approaching sunrise closer to about 7 a.m. We do expect the snow levels to drop down to about 3,500 feet. Now, we will expect to see some more of that heavy rain pushing through as we continue in the afternoon. We get one small little gap here from like about 2 to 5 o'clock where we get some maybe sunshine, but at this point, it's mostly cloud coverage. Then we get more rain and scattered showers pushing through in the overnight hours into Monday, 3:30 a.m. Some solid downpour and rain. More of that snowfall and lower snow levels continue. So this is really a solid 24-hour event, lingering even into Tuesday morning with scattered showers. But it is a lot of rain in a short amount of time. So that's what we're worried about. The thing that you should not necessarily be too worried about at this point is, I know we bring up Caldor fires, we bring up LNU and LNU complex fire burn scar regions and zones, but we are looking at some snowfall areas that are going to be low enough near Grizzly Flats, the Caldor fire, that we do not at this point in time expect there to be any debris flows. Now, we will keep our eye on areas around the LNU complex fire, but at this point we're looking decent. So let's talk about how much rain. 2 to 4 inches, you heard that right, inches of rainfall. We usually get about 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of rainfall in one good solid storm that kind of pushes on through. We had that a few days ago. Stockton 2 to 3 inches, and you have to remember this is going to continue pretty much through Thursday. Modesto 2 to 3 inches, San Francisco 3 to 4 inches. Now take a look at Grass Valley. Areas like Sonora, we could see as much as 4 to 7.5 inches of rainfall in this period in these two storm systems that push through. So a lot to get through. South Lake Tahoe 4 to 5 inches, but it's the snow we're mostly worried about for areas in the higher elevations there like Tahoe. Let's talk snow. This is going to be a lot. And we talk about travel delays because it's so much snow at this point. There's really no point in trying to get through it. You're going to either be parked on the side of the road for a very long time because even with chains, it's going to be hard to get through. We're going to have to wait for the plow to get through. It's just so much snow in a short amount of time. You're better off waiting to get through all of this. Now, the winter storm warning is in effect at 10 p.m. Sunday, lasting through 10 p.m. on Tuesday, so 48 hours here, and you are seeing a massive zone in pink. This is for that winter storm warning, but take note here, north of Redding, as you start getting up into Oregon, you will experience a lot more of that snowfall as well. So if you have plans to head up north along I-5, that might be delayed as well. You may want to wait until after Tuesday to get through. We're talking as much on I-5 in Dunsmuir as 36 to 60 inches of snowfall, lasts an 80 to 100 inches. You're not reading these wrong. I'm talking as much as 6.3 to about 8 feet of snowfall in a very short amount of time. This is where we have Caltrans trying to clear roads as fast as they can, but it's going to be huge delays for people. 60 to 80 inches in Echo, 80 to 100 Sonora, 60 to 80 Carson Ebbets. Just a lot of snow in a short amount of time. And notice how the line falls all the way down here, just up above Placerville, areas around Baxter, looking at a little bit of snow, and then the higher up you get, of course, the snow totals increase. Now let's take a look at our forecast here as we move through Tuesday. We're looking at snow level around 3,000, 3,500 feet. We can see as much as a foot and a half there around Alta. Blue Canyon 60 to 80 inches. And then the higher you get, Donner Summit, we can see as much as 80 to 100 inches of snowfall off of 50. We're looking as low as about just up above Placerville, so Camino, Pollock Pines, Kybers, looking at some significant snowfall here. Maybe a foot and a half to 2 feet of snow. The higher you get there, of course, we are looking at 60 to 80 inches. So If you have kids still in school right now, this could be a period of time where we see some of these locations at least taking a snow day, because look how much snow there is there in Khyber's 18 to 24 inches. That is a lot. All right, so let's look ahead past these next systems. We can expect a small break as we start moving past Wednesday. We get a little bit of rain Wednesday into Thursday. This moves on through. By Friday, we're starting to clear out. And then we get a little bit of sunshine, a nice solid break. The rain remains further north up into the Pacific Northwest at that point. So we are looking here at our 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook, and it looks like most of the entire country will be in a wetter pattern than we're used to seeing this time of year. The only dry spot down there is in Florida. The gray zone is pretty much average or normal to what they're used to this time of year. All right, let's talk about the winds. This is the very last element of the entire storm system, the wind, and it's actually going to be pretty significant. We'll see anywhere from about 15 to 20 mile per hour winds Sunday. And you're looking at Sunday morning, and these are just the sustained winds. Now, we could get some of the gusts as high as 25 to 35 miles per hour, much higher for this year, around 45 to 55 mile per hour wind gusts, and this is just the morning hours of Sunday. Take a look at this. Now we really ramp it up here. Monday morning, we're looking at 25 to 35 mile per hour winds. The purple shade there is gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour. This is across the valley. The winds coming in out of the south as that cold front continues to sweep up and out of the area, heading toward the east. So very strong winds. Again, if you have those Christmas decorations outside, the inflatables, things like that, those things are going to get whipped out and down the street very quickly, especially your trash cans. Keep an eye on those as well. And then just make sure any decorations you have that you don't want blown away, you either bring them in briefly, put them back out on Thursday or Friday, and then you're good with them. Otherwise, try to secure them as best as possible. I would bring in the inflatables. All right, let's take a look at our temperatures here for the week. We are looking at those mid to upper 40s and low 50s throughout the week. Basically expect every single day to have some rain from Sunday through Thursday. And we will see that break finally by Friday, and it looks pretty good as we roll into next week.